All right, coaches, welcome to our new coach webinar. I just want to make sure too that you guys know there's a couple different style of webinars that I do. Some of them are for people to learn more about coaching and what it entails, how it all works, how we earn money and stuff like that. That webinar is more for someone who hasn't started coaching yet. And this webinar it's okay if you're not a coach yet. I still think it's informative, but this particular webinar is designed for new coaches to learn more about how they can kickstart their business, where to go to find your trainings, what our goals are, and things like that. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew the difference, because I do know sometimes it's a little confusing with the different style webinars that I do. So let me go ahead and share my screen. I am just going to make sure that everyone's muted so we don't have too much background noise. Awesome. All right, and I do see people hopping on, so I was just going to give it a second. I'm going to open the chat box up and try to keep an eye on that in case you guys do have questions. If you're a new coach and you have a burning question that you've been wanting to ask, feel free to pop it in the chat box and I'll get to it later. But again, this is our new coach getting started right call. If you're watching this recording, this is being recorded in July of 2020. Things are forever changing in this business. So I actually went in today and I updated a couple of things in this presentation because some of our rewards programs have changed. So I'm excited to share everything with you. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see the full screen. See if I can make this part smaller. Okay, perfect. So a little bit about me and our team story. I feel like it's really important part of this webinar because people just assume that when I started my business 7 years ago that I knew everything and I was good at business and I knew how to do this, and you know, that I was already in shape, that I was happy and healthy. And to be honest, is the complete opposite. This was, I should say, these workouts, the programs, the products, this team, this community, our mission, they were the stepping stones to help me begin to change my life. As you can see the photo on the left, I was in pretty rough shape, to be honest. I was drinking a lot, I was partying a lot, and I definitely am still a party girl at heart, but at least I know how to take care of myself and have a good time without consistently living hungover, living on processed foods. And I now have this beautiful online and in-person community of people who lift me up every single day. I come from a corporate world background, and so for me to have a job that requires me to become a better version of me and inspire other people to do that, it's something really special to me. So I just like to share with people, I have been a coach for 7 years. I started at the bottom just like everyone else. I had 0 clients, 0 coaches. I didn't know anything about network marketing. The only thing I honestly knew about Beachbody and this opportunity was the opportunity and potential that it had. I had a friend who was extremely successful with coaching, and she had the physical transformation. She was seeing the business success, and I could see it on social media truly change her life in all ways, financially, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And she was one of those people who casted a vision for me as well before she even realized it, showing me what was possible. So I just feel like Beachbody gave me the stepping stones for me to get on a better path. And it's so cliche, but it's changed my life in so many ways. I feel like I see life in color now. I'm really always challenging myself to become more, to be more for others. And the photo on the right here is just a small glimpse of some of the girls on our team that are leading the way and crushing this business too. Unfortunately, we don't have a photo from Summit 2020 this year. I just want to make sure everyone's muted real quick. There we go. Otherwise, I have squirrel brain and I can't focus. That was taken last year in Indianapolis, and I wish, like literally right now, we should be all taking photos together at Summit. But because of the craziness that's happening, we'll have to look forward to St. Louis next year. If you haven't heard the announcement, our Coach Summit event is in St. Louis next year. I've never been, and it's going to be this same week next year. So that's just a little background of where I've come from. Corporate world completely changed my life in all ways. And I feel like I could spend a lot of time telling my story, but today I'm really here to help you start creating your own story. So the big question with my new coaches that I think really helped me as a new coach, this is the question I asked them. If I could wave a magic wand over you, what would you want to change or happen? And so this is what my coach asked me. She said, what do you want your daydream life to look like? And to be honest, when she asked me that, just like everyone else, maybe you're even thinking this right now in this moment, oh, well, it would be nice if I could XYZ. And that's exactly how I felt in my mind when she asked me that question. And I just remember being like, I live in Lake Tahoe. I just wish that I had the freedom and the ability to go adventure when I want, wherever I want, however I want, and not have to say no to things. I'm a free bird at heart, and that was the magic wand experience that I wanted to have. I wanted to be able to say, oh, today at 1:00, 2:00, I want to go do this. Or my husband and I just got back from a camping trip on the river. It was amazing. And I wanted to be able to do those kind of things without having to say, oh, I can't because I have to work. And so if I was to ask you, I don't want you to think that your goals have to be the same as mine. I want you to start to claim and own the things that you want to achieve in your life. So another question that my coach asked me is there someone in the Beachbody world living a part of your dream life right now? And my coach was living the adventurous, free life with a lot of hard work. I'm not just saying that, you sign up to be a coach and everything's easy and you're living your dream life, but the hard work that pays off, the result is that freedom that we were both looking for. And so when she asked me, do you see someone out there in the Beachbody world that you're maybe following online, that you've met in our circle, are they living a part of that dream life? And when she asked me that question, the first feeling and thought that I had was that, okay, if someone else has done it, that means that I can do it too. And my coach at that time was making about $1,500 a week. And I just remember being like, oh, if I could make $500 a week, this would forever change my life. And I started to think as a new coach, I signed up in 2013. I asked myself these questions. Where do I want to be in 6 months? So sometimes we get caught up in thinking about, the big, massive life change that you want to see, but we forget that you have to start with the smaller goals. So and by the way, my corporate job never used to ask me these kind of questions. All the past jobs I've had, no one was asking me about the life I wanted to create. They were just basically managing me as a human being to get my work done and clock in and clock out. And so this might be the first time that someone's asking you and challenging you to think about these kind of things. And so it might take some time to build up that kind of brain muscle if you've never done that before. So that's part of my job, is helping people dream big and start to think in a whole different way. So where do you want to be in 6 months? For some of you, it might be, I just want to be 40 pounds lighter and fall in love with Beachbody and see what this is about. For some of you, you might have an income goal or a certain amount of people that you want to help. There's all different goals. I just want to make sure that you have the right roadmap. Set goals for yourself for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. The 2-year goal was really powerful for me because I got engaged quickly after becoming a coach, and I didn't have my wedding. We were engaged for 2 years. So I planned my wedding 2 years out, knowing that I wanted to build this business. And I had a huge goal to earn 6 figures in my first 2 years. And I went after that goal. And it was my obsession goal. It was the legacy I wanted to create for my family. And so if I never asked myself, Colleen, where do you want to be in 2 years? I'm not sure if I would have gone for that goal. So I think you're picking up what I'm putting down, but the last question you have to ask yourself is, are you willing to immerse yourself? Like full cannonball style. Are you willing to immerse yourself, sacrifice a little bit of time and energy and effort now, and commit to being a new coach? I will be honest with you and tell you that I sacrificed a lot of time, probably too much time thinking back, but this seriously was something that I enjoyed doing, and I couldn't help it. I also didn't have a kid back then. The dynamic in your life might be different, but I was willing to sacrifice a lot of time back then so that I could create the life I wanted in the years to come. So you really have to have this mindset to immerse yourself within our team. So proud of you guys for being here today, and commit to being a new coach, because you're going to flail around like a fish. You're going to feel awkward. It's going to feel new. You're not going to know what you're doing. And some people can't handle that feeling. They're so used to being an employee where they clock in, they know what they're doing, and then they go home. This is so different. Becoming an entrepreneur is very different. So The first thing I want you to know about coaching, the most important to do on your to-do list, which we'll talk about to-do lists a little bit later, is honestly working on yourself. And there's a couple of expectations that I want to set with you because they're important and it will shape these next 6 months of you being a new coach. It's so important that when you wake up in the morning, you think about what's the most important things I need to focus on in my Beachbody business. It's that you need to experience the products and the programs and get results. Beachbody was built on P90X and insanity and workouts back in the day. And of course, we're much more than that now. But the core mission and the core vital behavior of experiencing the products and programs for yourself and getting results is a huge part of being successful as a coach. People ask me how I did so well in the beginning. Guys, I got killer results. It was very obvious. And to be honest, I signed up with Beachbody because it's black and white. It wasn't like I was going to try to sell someone something that you don't know if it works. It is very obvious that Beachbody programs and products work. Everyone knew the brand P90X. Everyone is really starting to learn more about Beachbody, especially with everything going on with this virus. At-home workouts, it's a wild industry. It's an amazing industry to be in right now. So be excited about that. Your job is to get results and show people that this works. The second thing that this is obvious. When I say this phrase out loud, you would think it would just be like, duh, of course we're going to do that. But I can't tell you how many people don't immerse themselves in the amazing team calls and the trainings and this team that we have in the support groups that we have for our fitness programs and our challenge groups. A lot of people choose to be a fly on the wall and they think that that's going to get them results. And I'm here to tell you that you've got to let yourself fall in love with this, because the best coaches are the best challengers. And if you don't love Beachbody because it's not for you, it's totally cool. I don't feel like everyone has to love it, but you've got to give yourself the chance to fall in love with Beachbody itself, the team, the products, and everything that we do as coaches. So don't feel like you're just going to sign up as a coach and all of a sudden get it. This is a process of falling in love. My experience of falling in love with Beachbody, I fell hard. So I think it was a little bit easier for me because my first 10-week transformation was mind-blowing. I felt better. I was happier. I was healthier. I was stronger. Yeah, the before and after is cool, but it was really the sense of vibrancy. Uh-oh. Why did it say that it's locking my editor? I don't know what just happened. Okay, technology. See, you don't need to know anything and everything about technology. All right, so number 3, it's really important. This one's a kicker for me too. It's obvious, but people, they skip this part, sharing the products and the programs. So I have so many customers who literally message me on the regular, on the daily, and they tell me how much they love Beachbody and the products and the programs. And it's changed their life and they show me their results, but they're so reluctant to share it. And it's just the example of if you went up to a restaurant and you had the best experience, or I just went camping this weekend and it was the best experience. I'm going to share that with people because I think that it's something else that others might love too. And so I want to share that experience with other people. Same thing with Beachbody. Doesn't have to be weird. Anything that I love, I share. And so you do need to focus on that as a new coach. Another thing that you really need to start thinking about is not only is it about your journey, but it's also part of our job as new coaches to help other people change their life with the products. So you might have amazing success with Shakeology. You have to start to think, how can I help someone else have the same experience? Because it's also going to change their life. And then the last thing that, there's a difference between, in my opinion, there's a difference between being a Beachbody coach and there's a difference between being a CEO. In my mindset, of course, we're all Beachbody coaches, but it's the difference between being massively successful and kind of sorta seeing some success is that you have to also share with other people that they can also be coaches, that they can also help other people change their life. It's not just about sharing the Shakeology, it's also about sharing the coach opportunity, which we call building your team. So when you think about these main things that we focus on, these are vital for new coaches. I want you guys to learn how to be resourceful. One of the best blessings that my coach ever gave me is she said, I want you to learn how to use our Coach Online Office, how to use frequently asked questions, use Google, use YouTube, whatever you need to do before messaging me. So my coach, I'm kind of like a walking Beachbody encyclopedia because my coach, not that she wouldn't let me message her, that sounds bad, but she challenged me to become a leader before I ever was. And so know where to get the answers and know how to be resourceful. And that's really going to help your ability to become an entrepreneur faster. So I hope that you're aware that we do have a coach online office. If you got a welcome email from Beachbody, they show you how to access it. It's honestly just coach.teambeachbody.com. In our team page in Dream Corp, I do have a units section. So anything that is a valuable resource for the team, that is where I put everything in the units section in our Facebook page. So our Facebook community, it's kind of like our business hub where I put everything that's important, events, announcements, fun things that our team is doing, team calls, all of that. So if you're not someone who's been checking in on Facebook consistently, that's a habit that you're going to want to start to dive in. Again, immerse yourself in the team culture. I did create a new coach manual. I can show you real quick in our team page. If you go to announcements in Dreamcorp, there is a new coach manual right here. So you can just click on this link and it opens up a beautiful new coach manual. Here is not my warning, that sounds scary, but I want you to know that, I've been doing this 7 years. And so I did take everything I know and I put it into a manual. So it has a lot of information, and I'm the type of person who says, I want to rock this. Give me the information, tell me what I need to do, and I'm going to go off and I'm going to do it. And so some people look at it and they just shut down. I don't know what your learning style is, but I think it's important for me to have all my knowledge for new coaches in one place. So I just want you to know that that's there. Another awesome resource is coachfaq.com, YouTube, Google. My only little asterisk that I usually tell people for things like YouTube is this business changes fast, whether it's advice on social media or how to access something in the coach online office. Be mindful of the date of the YouTube video. If something's dated 2014, it's most likely super outdated. So just be mindful of the date if you're searching YouTube and Google, okay? A suggestion, if you guys are taking any notes or watching right now, I would suggest that you open up Facebook and search Beachbody Champions. It's a Facebook group. And that is where all the trainings happen. Actually, our summit week, a lot of the stuff is happening in that page right now. So if you're ever at home, spinning your wheels, wanting to work your business, and you're like, I want to learn a little bit more about this, or I'm curious about this, and you have some time to kill, that is an amazing training resource for you. Every Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, Beachbody does what's called the National Wake Up Call. Typically, someone shares it right into our team page, but you'll usually just build up the habit to know that at that time on Mondays, you log in to the Team Beachbody Coach 411 page. It's all in the new coach manual, by the way. If you're not taking notes or anything, it is in the manual. So all the top coaches in the network, they'll select a topic and a coach, and they share their story and their best tips to rock this business. And so that's something that we usually all watch together as a team. And then my personal, what we call a coffee chat, is on Tuesdays, unless I change the date or something, or if I make an announcement. They're usually at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And so that's where we come together as a team, have guest speakers, share tactics, and do lots of trainings and stuff. I'm just going to open that. The page is the Beachbody Champions Facebook group. So it's right here on the slide. I don't know, maybe if you're not looking at the slides too, but that's why I make presentations, because sometimes I feel like I say something and people don't hear it because I'm talking so fast. And so it is right there, number 6 on the presentation too. I'm the kind of person, when I am listening to a training, I need slides. So selfishly, that's kind of why I do this way. So where do you find your training to get started? When you log into your Coach Online office, you're going to see at the top, or if you're on your phone, it will just come up in a nice little organized format. But if you're on your computer, it will be at the top. There's a training tab, and there's 5 to 6, I forget, they probably added more by now, but 5 to 6 getting started new coach videos that teach you how to use your Coach Online office, that teach you how to set up your direct deposit and how to set up your coach website, which is, the website's already made for you. You're just plugging in your information and like a little paragraph about yourself. So I really want you guys to know that getting started is very simple. just make sure that you take care of those first 5 to 6 videos, because setting up your direct deposit is important. If you end up selling something and earning a commission, you don't want to wait for a paper check in the mail. We get paid every Thursday. It's one of the most exciting things about being a new coach. So that's why I tell people to set that up right away. The new coach handbook, I kind of use the word manual and handbook, depending on how old my presentation is, but it's the same thing. So like I just showed you, it's pinned as an announcement at the top of Dreamforce. And so why is this important for me to tell you? It's super boring, it's unsexy, I know that, but this is important for you to know that you basically can add coaches to our team / your team. And this business is plug and play. I don't expect you to be training your coaches to do everything. I want you to let this kind of webinar and the resources that are available to you, I want those resources to help you help your new coach get started. And so that's why I say it's plug and play. You can add a new challenger, you can add a new coach to our team, you can add someone to our challenge group, and literally like the community and the structure is built for you. Your job is to get excited about your results and to help people get started. Don't get too caught up in any of this stuff. I've done the legwork for you. You don't have to recreate this, okay? So if you haven't already created your coming out post, which is just your announcement post that you're starting on this journey, explain why you're doing it, and really start to clean up your social media. If you're someone who kind of has not used social media intentionally, it's going to be important for you to know that this is now your storefront, right? So whatever you're sharing on social media, if you're just sharing silly little viral videos and just kind of wasting time, to me, that's just not being intentional as a business owner, as a CEO, as someone who's like, hey, I'm going to change my life. I want to help you change your life. Here's my story. See the difference between just kind of using Facebook as this fun little Facebook silly thing that a lot of people complain about. I love Facebook. I love Instagram. I meet the coolest people. It's how I run my business. And I'm in control of my feed. And when people are just sharing negative stuff, to be honest, the delete button is a beautiful thing. So you're going to start to learn how to clean up your newsfeed. You're going to learn how to clean up your social media and start to really take this serious. If you haven't made a list of people to start inviting, I want you guys to keep it super simple. We're going to talk about inviting in a second, but if you haven't started to think about, the next 3 to 5 friends or coworkers, family members that you want to do this with you, this is where you're going to get a little outside your comfort zone because you're asking someone to become an accountability buddy. For me, that was easy as a new coach because I was so freaking excited about this. It didn't feel like I was asking anything out of the ordinary. I just was excited and I was like, do you want to do this with me? Plus, right now, a lot of people are looking for ways to work out and get results. And people need this for mental health, for health in general, for their wellness. So I strongly, 7 years in, and firmly still believe more than ever that people need this. So if you haven't made a list of people to invite, make sure that's something that you start to think about tonight. So earlier, when I first started the presentation, I said that the most important thing for you to do is focus on yourself. And that is very true. But we actually have something called the 4 vital behaviors. And this is all in a beautiful checklist for new coaches. If you feel like you don't know how to dedicate your time, what to focus on, I'm going to show you a beautiful checklist. It literally shows you how to be successful in this business. And here's where my tough love comes in. You're either going to choose to do it or you're not going to do it. If you do it, you're going to see results. If you don't, it's not going to work, and it has to be consistent. And so we call it the business activity tracker. I was like, what do we call it? But sometimes you say something so many times and your brain forgets what it's called. The business activity tracker is based off of these 4 vital behaviors. So I think this is obvious, but number 1, be proof the products work, guys. Drink your shakes, do your workout, follow your food plan, right? We're trying to inspire people to be happier and healthier and show them that this works. I really can't help you if you're not willing to be proof the products work to kickstart your coach business. Number 2, they're called vital behaviors because if you don't do these things, then we're not doing our business, right? So whenever a new coach comes to me and they say they're struggling, I talk to them about these 4 vital behaviors. Are you sharing on social media? And are you sharing in a way that's inspiring? Or are you just doing like, did my workout, check, Not inspiring. That's what I call a Twitter update, right? And so you're going to start to learn through our team and the trainings and everything that we have to offer as a team of how to tell your story in a powerful way. Because your story, if you choose to dive into this, you're going to see it change really quick. And I think it's one of the coolest things. So you do have to connect with other people, and you have to be willing to invite them. So just share your journey on social media. When I started as a new coach, Instagram wasn't even really a thing. Now it's massive, but I, for some reason, had this idea in my head that if I had a website, that would make me official. So I was Colleen Eddy before I got married. So ColleenEddy.com sounded so official to me. You don't need a website to be successful. And I didn't spend my time making a blog or website or anything until later down the road. And so I chose to use my Facebook as my daily blog post. And so I want you guys to think about this. Sometimes I see coaches go on social media and they like write a little blurb, and it's like this half a sentence, and it's like a Twitter update. You know what I mean? Because Twitter's so limited. If you were on a blog and writing a blog entry, it wouldn't be half a sentence, and there would be emotion. There would be connection. People would be able to connect with your story. So sharing isn't just about getting out there just to share. You really have to start to think how you are a professional storyteller. And if you want to tell me that you don't have a story, guess what? Starting tonight, you can start to create a whole new you, a whole new set of behaviors and discipline and skills and inspiration. I mean, this job, that's why I use the term stepping stones at the beginning. Everything that we do with the vital behaviors is a stepping stone to improve your life, if you do them consistently. It's not a Monday through Friday thing. I always hear a lot of times coaches that are like, oh, but what about the weekends? Like, I want to let loose. I'm like, you can still be happy and healthy on the weekends. Like, you can have your beer, have your drink, have your treats, whatever. But this is called a lifestyle. I'm kind of going on a tangent because I get excited about this. Social media is a huge passion for me. So you do have to start conversations and talk to people. But guess what? If your social media is killer, they're going to come talk to you. And you have to invite people. And it doesn't hurt to say, hey, you should come do my virtual wellness studio with me. And they're going to go, what's that? And if you're showing up online, getting killer results and sharing your story, that invite is not painful, I promise. Number 3, personal development. If you don't feel like you have the confidence in yourself or in this business, in network marketing, if you have an unsupportive spouse, I have no idea what exactly the limitations that you might be feeling right now are. Please know that 99% of the time, it's either, I always say therapy, because we all have a lot of stuff we have to handle, right? I go to therapy. It's great. I preach it a lot within my team. I think that a book is great. I think podcasts are awesome, but there's really something that's life altering when you dig deep and you pull out all the cobwebs, because it's so freeing and you feel really light and excited. It's helped me a lot in my personal journey. So we suggest 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day to me is just like, okay, just do 30 minutes. If you did 10 minutes of working out, you probably wouldn't get good results, but I feel like 30 minutes of working your mind muscles is probably where you're going to see big changes. I was just checking the chat box. I have so many things on my screen, I can't even move the chat box. There we go. Okay, cool. Making sure you guys didn't have any questions. So you have to get your headspace right. I would never expect someone to be able to inspire and lead and change people's lives if they are not in a good headspace, right? And if that's a challenge for you, coaching as far as success in the business might take you longer. That is not a bad thing. It's never too late. I have some people who have been on my team for 4 or 5 years and just now are finally starting to take off. It doesn't matter the time frame. All that matters is that your life is progressing, and eventually the light bulb will go off where you see the big picture for you as a coach with your business. Okay, number 4, your job is to get people results. You have to show up in your challenge groups, contribute, become a part of that. Check in with your clients, recognize them, and shout them out. I pretty much wake up every day and say, how can I help other people get results today? Because my habits and everything that I do are just second nature. I don't even have to think about half the things that I do as a coach now. I've learned the vital behaviors, I've learned the business, and now my job is how can I wake up and inspire someone else to do awesome things with their life. So let's talk a little business stuff. I have to go kind of quick because I have to leave in 20 minutes for a doctor's appointment, but I started working with the movement coach for some issues I was having with my shoulder. Okay, your first goal is to get on the board. We call it the board, the Success Club board. And I think a lot of people assume that your goal is to just sell a billion things and, sell, sell, sell. And to be honest, guys, like that's great if you want to go do that. But we want you to help 3 people get started with the same thing that you did, a challenge pack. Our challenge pack is, either for Beachbody On Demand workouts, they pick their product, and now they come with nutrition programs, which is amazing. And so the challenge pack is what we call the total solution. Sure, someone can come to me and get the workouts, that's fine. But I do my job, and this is why it's important for you. That's why I started the presentation with, you have to experience our programs and products, because you'll never be able to make a recommendation for someone if you haven't experienced yourself. And as a new coach, obviously, you have very little experience, but in the first 2 weeks, I'll never forget how Shakeology made me feel. I'll never forget my workouts in my first 2 weeks and how it made me feel. You don't need to be 10 steps ahead to help someone get started. Your goal is to just inspire someone enough to believe in themselves and to believe in what you're doing too, and get started the same way you did. Keep it simple. If you got started with a Muscle Burns Fat Challenge Pack and your Beachbody Performance, that's probably what you're going to recommend to people because it's all you know. Your goal is to help 3 people, guys. I know and believe that you can start right now and go help 3 people get started with the same thing as you. And if you immediately feel like, oh, I'm not sure, and all these doubts creep in, that's when I want you to go back to these vital behaviors and we go do a workout, drink your shake, build up this belief that this works, because it does. You have to be proof the products work. When you get results, it's going to be a lot easier for you to invite other people. And so just start with your friends and family while you build your market and while you build your following. That's why we say consistency, because you can't post Monday through Friday in the month of February, March, and April, and then go away for 3 months and expect people to trust you as their coach. It doesn't work like that. So I was telling you guys about the slide that I had to update because this is actually new and awesome. So your first goal as a coach is to hit Success Club by helping 3 to 5 people get started. If you help 3 people, you hit Success Club 5. If you help 5 people, you hit Success Club 10. So it's just helping more people, earning more money. That's the difference between the 2. But the Success Starter program is a recognition program for new coaches who earn it in any 3 months within their first 6 months as a coach. So if you signed up in July, you have from now to December, if I'm counting right, in your first 6 months, you have to hit Success Club 3 times. How many times are you heating that up?
I'm defrosting it.
I'm sure you guys, I have noise canceling headphones on and I can just hear my microwave going off. Okay, so in your first 6 months as a coach, you just have to hit Success Club 3 times. And that means that you've hit your Success Starter goal. And so what your reward is you'll get a free ticket to attend Team Beachbody Coach Summit. Like I said, it's in St. Louis in 2021. Plus, this is brand new this year, you will get to participate in an exclusive pilot test group for an upcoming fitness program. So when you hit Success Starters, Beachbody is going to email you and say, you get to try this workout and show us how it works, send in your results, and work with corporate in the test group. We've never done that before, so this is a really big deal for us this year. Okay, so that is our Success Starters program. Also, oh yeah, no, I already said that. Never mind. They've changed this program a couple times, so I wanted to make sure when I went to go read the frequently asked questions today in the Coach Online office that I was telling you guys the right information. So it's super important for you guys to be the best challenger possible right now. I think it's the best way to learn what our coach behaviors are. So commit to a challenge group with or without your coach. I personally think it's smarter. You should be working smarter, not harder, especially if you're busy, and just piggyback off your coach's challenge group. Start inviting people. You get to add challengers to your coach's group so you can learn and help them get results. I don't want you to focus on managing people. I want you to focus on creating 5-star customer experience so that people get results just like you are. And so, this is actually super old and outdated. I don't use the My Challenge Tracker app. It actually doesn't even exist anymore. I forgot about that. So we do have within Beachbody On Demand a new platform called BOD Groups. And basically it's the off social media version way that people can check in. It's really easy. It's so intuitive. You could just log in, start a group, and start tracking with your clients if you want. Or like I said, work smarter, not harder, and piggyback off your coaches. So make an announcement that you're starting a challenge. Give them a start date, start talking about it. Just get excited. So your first couple of invites, I did show you guys, hold on, let me go back to the unit section. I need a new laptop, it's so delayed. So let's see, right here, when you click units, there's a new coach training resource video section, and there's a video that says your first couple invites. So you can click right there, and there's a screenshot of Ashley. Ashley Molstad is the top coach in our network for the last couple of years. She's a badass, she's awesome, great person to follow. And she obviously knows how to help her team see results. So you're successful in this business as a top coach when you help your coaches see success with this business. So it's not about how much that person is selling. It's not necessarily just about that. It's about, are you helping your team and your new coaches also be successful with this business? So I'm going to very quickly go over this, but you really do need to start talking to at least 3 people a day minimum, or around 20 people a week. Guys, I have seen some new coaches on our team in the last 6 months since this whole COVID thing started. And I feel like there's just this new wave of energy coming into our team, because if you're showing up authentically, I want you to 100% be yourself. If you follow me on social media, I suck at being fake. Like, if I'm not having a good day, I don't know how to just pretend I'm having a good day. Like, oh, my computer is just not loving me right now. It just keeps resetting. Okay. So when I'm being authentic on social media and I'm sharing in my Instagram stories or on Facebook, because I'm being so real, these people are connecting with me. They're commenting, they're liking, they're messaging me. And so naturally, these conversations are happening. So when I say you should be talking to 20 people a week, I don't want you to feel icky or salesy or spammy about it. I want you to focus on sharing so that the conversation naturally happens and people are attracted to what you're doing. I hope that makes sense. So you're going to get objections. And I just want you to know that the best thing I learned as a new coach is to say, all I know is I started drinking Shakeology and I'm not eating chocolate at night. I'm just made something random up. You know, when someone asks you all these questions that you don't know the answer to, it's okay to not know it all. Use that phrase, girl, I'm not really sure. I can definitely look up the answer if you want, but all I know is, you know, these workouts are 20 minutes. It's so great because I have my kid at home. Whatever your story is, however it's helping you, help other people see that solution for themselves, and your conversation skills are really going to start to sharpen. But if you don't talk to people, if you're not getting out of your comfort zone, you're never going to be able to sharpen that skill. I really feel like my past jobs in working with customer service, if you've ever been in customer service, you know that you have to have a conversation with the customer standing in front of you. You have to leave them feeling happy, welcome, taken care of. And so it's the same thing when I'm having conversations with people. I let them know that they're heard, I'm excited, I'm passionate, and it's all authentic because I love this. And so I feel like when I invite them or when they ask me how much something is, it's just that much easier because they know I'm being real and we're having just a normal conversation. I can't tell you how many times I'm somewhere and someone asks me, you know, where I got my hat or where I get my hair done or whatever, and they ask me how much it is, and I have no problem telling them that. It's kind of the same thing. You have to love it. That's why falling in love with this is important. So also, make sure that you start a little system. For 5.5 years, guys, I ran a 6-figure business off pen and paper by writing someone's name down because they were interested, and I followed up. So that kind of brings me to my next point, which I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to skip ahead because I think this is important, is how are you going to achieve your goals? We have this daily business activity tracker that you can find in the Coach Online office and in the unit section of our team page. It's also in the new coach manual. You can find it everywhere. And this is just a photo just for illustrative purposes, but you can see your job for today, number 1, is to be proof the products work. Number 2, it breaks down. One of the breakdowns is to update your Instagram and your Facebook story throughout the day. And it just gives you examples of what to share. What are you doing with your daily life? You don't need to become a Beachbody highlight reel. Actually, a lot of people come to me and they're like, I didn't even know you were a Beachbody coach, because I don't word vomit Shakeology. Well, sometimes I do. I'm excited about Shakeology right now. I've fallen in love with the new recipe, so I've been talking about Shakeology a lot, but I'm not word vomiting too much Beachbody. I'm more talking about the lifestyle and the daily life that I live. my son is on there, my husband's on there, my mountain biking's on there, everything. So this activity list is going to train you how to be a new coach. So please don't feel like you have to throw spaghetti at the wall and guess what you need to do. I'm telling you, this is what you need to do. So I'm going to scroll back up. I guess I should have moved that slide, but your second goal as a new coach is to hit the rank of Emerald. So what that means is you plus 2 people sign up 2 coaches with 50 volume points or higher, one on your left leg, one on your right leg. You can, so I'll tell you how I hit Emerald. I signed my husband up and I signed up a friend, and my husband and I both drink Shakeology. So when we were getting 2 bags of Shakeology shipped to the house, I wanted to make sure that his account also got a discount on Shakeology. So I signed him up. And I also plan to help him grow his Beachbody business. That's a whole other story for another time. But if you do have a spouse, it's honestly just kind of like a no-brainer. You can get Shakeology, your husband can get Beachbody Performance. Getting your family involved is just one of the easiest ways for you to get discounts on products, get your family involved with what you're doing. I mean, just get them excited about being happy and healthy. And then I signed up another friend who was obsessed with vegan chocolate Shakeology, and I offered the discount to her. So you can sign someone up as a coach, and they don't have to coach. They can just reap the benefits of the discount, kind of like how you go to Costco, you pay a membership fee, and you get discounts to shop at Costco. So I tell my clients, and I call them VIP customers, that this is kind of like your Costco version for your fitness and health goals. So they get the discount. So to hit Emerald, 1 coach on your left leg, 1 coach on your right leg. I'll keep that's, I mean, sometimes I feel like I don't know what else to say about it because it's literally that simple. But if you have more questions about it, I have a whole other video on hitting Emerald. But I already went off on my tangent about social media, but if you're not sharing on social media, your business doors are closed. I'm a big window shopper, and I'm also kind of have a little bit of a graphic design background. So whenever I walk by a shop or a store, whatever I see out front, what the name of their store is, what signs I see in their window, what displays I see in their window, that is going to be the determining factor if I walk in or not. Most likely you are similar, but I just want you to know that, like, not choosing to not show up on social media for me as a mentor and as a business coach within Beachbody is just like someone doesn't want to grow their business. They don't want to inspire other people. So it's important for your coach to know that you mean business. Sharing on social media is clearly important because I haven't stopped talking about it. So I always tell people, make sure that you share your face. Sometimes people are uncomfortable with sharing their face, and it's different for them to get in front of their phone. I feel like it's a lot more normal now with like TikTok and Instagram stories. A lot more people are showing their face, but it's important that you speak on your stories. It's important that people, it's not about being a hype girl. It's not about, just, oh, I love Beachbody, I love my workouts. They really are going to know how authentic you're being through the actions and the results and the lifestyle that you're living. It's very obvious to people who's BSing them and not. So don't sell Beachbody, sell you. Anybody can go to beachbody.com and purchase what they want, right? So why would someone come to you? Because you're sharing your story and they're connecting with it and they're like, I want that person to help me. That's the difference between successful coaches and unsuccessful coaches. Be patient, be consistent, start now. This is a learned skill, and failing is part of the process, but you've got to get uncomfortable. So see the images here. I just took a screenshot of 2 coaches on our team that just absolutely crush it. And you can just get the vibrant, happy vibes. And I really take my photo game, my caption game, and the stories that I tell on social media serious, because I only have to make 1 post a day on my actual news feed. So make it count. So it's obvious that these coaches who are doing very well in the business, mind you, they're getting paid to be professional storytellers, and they're using their platform to make a difference and inspire other people. You're gonna suck at first. I know it's painful, but I promise that you'll be able to reflect back one day, be speaking on one of these webinars, and teach other people how you did it from the beginning. I have to leave in a couple minutes, but I think we're wrapping up. I'm not gonna go over that slide. Okay, so what to expect for your first month. Sorry. I just got like a really dry spot in my throat. So I want you to start your basic setup in your training. It's really quick. Go into the Coach Online office and go to the training tab. And also get your first personal development book, podcast, and audio ready. If you're not used to something, meaning a book or someone on a podcast, pumping positivity and excitement into your veins, if this is something you're not used to, get ready. I'll never forget the first experience I had. It felt like the author was poking me in the forehead and was like, girl, wake up. People take personal development serious because it does make a difference. Get super serious and committed to your journey. Mind, body, and soul. Guys, if you need the therapy, because there's a lot of shit that we've been through in our life, because I've been there, I just got to a point in my life when I turned 27 where I just wanted to break through. I don't know what point you're at in your life. If you know that there's things that are holding you back in your life, this goes so much deeper than just Beachbody and coaching. If you're on this team, you will get to know everyone real quick because we are an open book and we share everything. Okay? Plug into these challenge groups, plug into the team. It is so inspiring to watch these people completely transform in all ways. Losing my voice. Share your journey, please, because it is so special. Also, make your announcement post and post daily as if it's your job, because it is. One of my personally sponsored coaches on our team is starting to earn more money than me, and it makes me so happy because she has worked her butt off from the very beginning. And my goal as a leader is to actually see my coaches succeed me. And so when I see my coaches doing better than me, it just gets me so excited because I know sky's the limit. And it's because her name's Candace. Candace has showed up from the very beginning. And I don't know, she just has something about the way she shows up on social media in an authentic way. And I've just watched her change her habits, and she is proof that these products work: mind, body, soul, lifestyle, everything. So I'm not someone who gets overwhelmed easily. I've been through a lot in my life in terms of the jobs I've had, when I got laid off from my corporate job, like it was just messy for me. And so overwhelm isn't something I personally experienced. So I've had to learn how to help coaches break through this. And so I want you to know that when you get overwhelmed, I want you to immediately remember me saying this to you, that you only can have 3 priorities in your life. If your life is a whirlwind and you have 19,000 extracurriculars going on, which I feel like right now that's not the case in a lot of people's life, please know that you really have to identify what your 3 priorities are. 3 priorities in your life. Anything more means you don't have priorities. So don't choose that overwhelm. Choose to share and experience this beautiful opportunity. Keep it simple and make sure all your time and effort spent on this business is doing those vital behaviors and using that checklist. So print out that tracker and start. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen, but I want you to know that our team page is open, and anytime you have a question, you should post in our team page, because I know that if you have the question, that means that another new coach probably has that question too. So I have to run to my appointment, but I hope this was helpful, and I will also upload the recording in the team page later. All right, guys, see you later.